Opportunity.
Memorable.
Tradition.
Elegance. Determination. Community. Art. Chill.
Discipline.
Dedication.
Inspiration.
Joy. Legacy.
Magic.
Poise. Timeless. Life-changing.
Amazing.
Love. Sassy. Passion. Dedication. Legacy.
Magnificence.
Scene. Determination. Discipline. Resilience. Community. Spectacular. Home. 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 Family. 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 Family.
Grace and grit.
Not only do we give kids the opportunity to really perfect an art, they also give back to the community by presenting the performances to so many kids who might never see a ballet or hear a symphony orchestra, and free classes for our community. Other, scholarships, financial aid, all of those things my mom taught me was like never turn a kid away. That's what Westside is to me. I want it to be an open door.
Yvonne was just the most glamorous woman. I will never forget the way she moved and the way she carried herself. She had that perfume that you watch in a ballerina, that certain something that you can't really teach that goes beyond the technique. Yvonne, I hope, would be so proud to have some of her alumni returning to hopefully inspire her students.
She said, be the best every single day in everything you do, every part, all the time. And that's what I took with me. The follow through happens, it goes throughout your life. That kind of discipline where you say, I have to do it, I have to be prepared. And it shows in all of our kids that have gone on to colleges and gone on to wonderful careers in everything other than ballet. She told all of us for years, I don't want my school to die when I die. I want you all to take over. So it really was a collective thing. We are the ones who are privileged enough to carry the torch and carry that legacy forward. It's exciting for the dancers, it's exciting for us as teachers to bring all of that to the future as we continue on. 57 years of the school and 50 years of the company. It's extraordinary when I think about it. Like, oh my gosh, really, has it been that long? I love telling the kids that every Nutcracker. I said, Miss Caprice was Dewdrop Fairy when I first came. And they sort of go, really? And it's like, yeah, we used to all be young once and we used to dance.
The opportunities that I was given as a young dancer, and to really find myself as an artist and the dancer that I became is all thanks to Westside and the amazing foundation that Yvonne Mounsey and Rosemary Valère provided. They were very special people and they loved ballet and they imparted that passion on the rest of us.
My favorite memory would be learning Spanish from Yvonne, because that was the role that she originated in the New York City Ballet, and it was a huge honor to be able to work with her. It felt like this kind of direct line to George Balanchine, the choreographer. I was like 14 or 15 and I was a bit behind on my training. And there was this one day where Miss Martine and Miss Francine pulled me into the office and said, look, we see that you love this, but you're behind. And if you want to be good, you're going to have to take it really seriously and really apply yourself. For me, that was like a shift, a really critical moment in my life. And from there, it was almost a snowball effect of joining large training programs and eventually graduating from the Vaganova School in St. Petersburg, Russia. And it all kind of started with that moment of it's time to really dig in. There's really deep roots here, which have been long-standing and have survived a lot. It is a premier training facility, but it's deeper than that.
Looking at Westside at this 50-year milestone, I'm totally blown away because I have all the memories of doing all of these Nutcrackers and doing all these spring shows and having like some of the most happy memories of my childhood, being backstage, getting ready for these shows and feeling like I was really part of a community and really being cooperative with all the people around me. Watching it from the outside now, not really being one of the students, I just see how much work goes into it. Ultimately, what I value the most, and I think was instilled in me by Yvonne, is what are you sharing? How are you being generous with the audience? And I think that is beautiful.
About 4 months after I left for my first year at School of American Ballet, Yvonne invited me back to do Sugar Plum for Nutcracker that year. And she got permission for me to come back and do it. And I'm so glad that she did, because that was the last Nutcracker that she was still with us. So it feels like a big honor that I got to have that one last Nutcracker. I just remember being backstage and that hubbub being so exciting. Just, you're with your friends and you've worked so hard for so many weeks on this choreography that you cannot wait to perform it for everybody. And everyone helping with makeup and hair and just all hands on deck and feeling that sense of family and camaraderie. And then getting to break free on stage was so gratifying and exciting. I just so vividly remember that feeling of excitement and joy about dancing and feeling like the whole world is there for the taking. And that excitement about being a young dancer and reconnecting with that is such a strong nostalgia that you don't get to have all the time. You just have so much love and admiration and respect for your teachers. Most of the teachers that I had growing up at Westside are still here. And that is so powerful and invaluable, because every person is like a living library. And when they go, all of that information goes with them. So to be able to have access to that mental library for 20 plus years for me, but 50 years for so many people is mind-blowing. I mean, what a gift. And I always come back and I'm like, thank you for everything that you taught me about being a dancer and being an adult and a person.
It has always represented artistic integrity from the beginning. In the school, in all our performances, they've always emphasized the discipline of ballet, the professionalism of being a dancer. The school continues to do that. It's the integrity that I admire the most. It has continued.
And I will say that my daughters have all learned how to present themselves beautifully and professionally. And all three of them have been in interviews, making presentations, giving speeches at conferences, and being the outward-facing representative of their institutions.
Rosemary would always emphasize, people would say, well, what's the use of ballet training? And she would say, well, when you see your child walk across the stage to accept their diploma, or if they walk into a room for an interview, you'll be very proud of the way they present themselves. That's what ballet is going to give them.
The beauty of being a piece of something that had historical significance. I mean, Rosemary brought with her the historical kind of experience of being with Royal Ballet, and Yvonne brought the Balanchine experience, and then we were all kind of walking in the shoes of these people who had been creating before us. And as young people, we didn't realize how special and cool that was. And it was also fun and silly, and we were able to have fun together, but it was also very serious. We took it very seriously, and I think that's so cool for kids to have that opportunity to be able to take themselves seriously and realize that they're part of something real and a historical lineage of something so special.
I came to Westside when I was 10. Michelle and I have known each other since we're 15. We still like each other. It's such a nice thing that we can be part of the artistic staff and carry on the tradition that Yvonne and Rosemary left for us. It's a treat. It really is.
Yvonne on the God mic.
Yeah.
Oh God. Lines, lines, chap, smile.
Yeah.
Lines.
She loved to say lines.
Yeah, but it was always like bad dress rehearsal, great show.
And at night, they went home and called each other and talked about all of the students.
They were so dedicated.
That was, what is the best place for this person? What is the best role?
They really cared, and it showed.
My mom was actually an alumna as well at Westside. She danced with Yvonne and Rosemary in the 70s, I think, when Westside first opened. But I've been coming to this Nutcracker since I was in kindergarten. So every year we'd gather a few friends and we would get all dolled up and we would come to the Nutcracker at El Camino. I came to Westside when I was 10 and started off with Rosemary. There's no other Nutcracker like this Nutcracker.
Coming tonight for the 50th anniversary of the Nutcracker is really exciting for me, and it's emotional. It amazes me how they kept the school going with COVID. I had more of a view from the kitchen. I mean, Rosemary taught me to cook and how to make her salad, and I make that salad every day. And I sat at the dinner table with Yvonne and Kelvin, her husband. I always think of them when I make coffee. I think of them all the time because I still do everything they taught me. There's just this connection, it's like a tribe.
When I was hoping to be cast as Clara, and then Yvonne and Rosemary decided to give me Sugar Plum, and I was floored, but of course deeply honored, and it was a massive and beautiful challenge. Yeah, I really loved coaching that role as well. I feel Yvonne with me like all the time.
It was just shortly after Rosemary passed away, so it was very emotional at Westside. I remember Yvonne standing behind the bar with sunglasses on to sort of hide the fact that she had been crying at the loss of her best friend and her, partner, or artistic and business partner. And all of us dancers were, I think, very moved by the music and the collective kind of poem that we were creating together, remembering Rosemary. I was either 16 or 17. Yeah. And so that music, whenever I hear, I've danced it many times since then, but that will always bring me to I think like a spiritual place, because I really felt so connected, and we all felt, I think, that Rosemary was still with us kind of in this heavenly position. You knew, she had high standards and she believed that you could do what she was asking. And then I think as a young person, it's a very wonderful opportunity to make you think, well, what kind of person do I want to be? A few of the things from Westside really helped. One is just, ballet, I think, when done well, will build character, it will build grit. And so when you have to push yourself beyond what you think is possible or you really want to do, you can do it. Because with ballet, you've put your point shoes on when you had blisters on your toes, and you got out and you performed and you did it. And so I think that builds the trust in oneself to know you can do hard things.
Being dedicated at such a young age to come to your classes every day after school, 6 days a week, from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, then going home and doing your homework, and then being here all day on Saturday, and just learning as a 12-year-old how to sew my own point shoes, how to wash my ballet tights, how to pack what I needed, how to put on my makeup for stage, just transferred a lot into life as an adult. I mean, you get out there in the real world and you need to have the discipline to find a job, have the confidence in yourself to be able to convince people that what you're good at, so you can excel in life and take command in a room and just be confident in who you are. I mean, it's not easy doing that in life.
I loved Saturdays. They were a time when I could leave school behind and really focus on classes, on pas de deux, on rehearsals, and really dedicate myself to my friends at the studio. And I would also say that probably my second favorite memory of Westside was really the annual tea parties that we used to have at Rosemary's house in the spring. They were in her backyard. She had the most magical rose garden at her home in Mar Vista, and it was such a special honor to be able to go there every spring. All of the teachers at Westside Ballet, for me through the 1990s, were incredible role models for me, and people who I think about, 20, 30 years since all the time.
Such an exciting time for us. 10 years as artistic director and our 50th anniversary Nutcracker, which I grew up in. Fabulous night.
We all met when we were 5 years old, and 20 plus years later, here we go. I created friendships that lasted a lifetime. Here we are, you know, over 10 years later and still so close, and we're like a family. It's really special.
Both of my daughters danced at Westside, and my late husband, Stephen Beach, he was involved every year volunteering as backstage crew. He loved it.
It was our home growing up, so it's nice to be back. I just remember Yvonne telling us that she was preparing us for life,
Setting us up with life lessons. Westside always really taught me like perseverance, believing in myself.
Blossom. Completely transformative and magical, and I'm so grateful.
Westside means the world to me. It's made me who I am as a person. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to Westside for what it's done for me over the years.
The legacy and tradition of Westside Ballet's 50th, this is together several generations of just pure love and passion for the school and for the art of ballet. May it continue to live on.